What's good, people? Welcome back to the channel. The new NBA season is about to tip off, so you know I had to drop my official NBA team rankings before the season begins. If you're a long-term subscriber to the channel, then you know of my NBA Power Ranking series that I dropped every month during last year's NBA season. For those unfamiliar, let me show you the tiers. The S tier, the contending teams that I think are the best teams in the league. The A tier, teams that are missing something. Just a tad below the contending teams, but are missing something that puts them over the edge. The B tier are sleeper teams that might shock you and might overperform this season as well. The C tier are teams that have a lot of question marks. They might be in the play-in, but they also might be out of the play-in as well. The D tier are teams that are a few pieces away from being a true contending playoff team in the near future. And the F tier, the Wembanyama sweepstakes. If y'all aren't tanking, y'all doing the season completely wrong. Go get that man Wembanyama. Like, there's no, go get him. With all that being said, let's get right into the rankings. The first team, the Sixers. Sixers are in the contending spot to begin the season. I ain't gonna lie. I think that this team is very, very deep. Full preseason, a full offseason with their entire team. This team looks really, really good. It just comes down again to Harden and Embiid performing to the expectations that we expect them to. But I think that right now, this is one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference for sure. The next team, the Washington Wizards. No cap, I think they're a question mark team. I think that they're talented. I think Bradley Beal now being healthy with the team is definitely going to put them above the edge. I think the Eastern Conference is kind of deep, and if you look at that roster right now, there's some positives and there's some negatives as well. I don't think that they're just a lock to make the playoffs, but I think that they're a team that you can't sleep on. They're not. Yeah, y'all staying there. Y'all staying there for now. ATL. Look. I really want to put them as a sleeper team. I'm gonna do it. I had him as a question mark team, but I think Atlanta, I don't know. I'm gonna keep Atlanta down here for now. I'm not sold on Atlanta. That's the thing. I'm hopeful, but I'm not sold. I think the addition of DeJounte Murray is going to put them over the edge. It's gonna help out Trae Young. I think Trae Young can play. If he plays off ball, then this is going to be a good sighting for them. So I'm gonna keep him there. I'm gonna keep him. Next team, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now this is a sleeper team. No cap. I think this team in the next 2 years is going to be competing, and soon they're going to get themselves up to the contending spot. But right now they're a sleeper team. I think they're going to perform well as a younger team in the regular season. They're going to get some guys. They're going to shock some people. Remember last year, this team was a 3rd seed. They were performing very, very well until guys got injured. So they're really, really good. But yeah, y'all are there for now, Cleveland. Good shit. Detroit. Now look, this is where it gets interesting. I think Detroit should be in the Wembanyama sweepstakes, but I don't think they're going to perform so badly to the point that they deserve to be in them. They can get Wembanyama, but I think Detroit's a few pieces away. And let me explain. I like the entire core that they have, from Sadiq Bey, Ivy, Cade Cunningham. I like the core. Not going to be one of the best teams in the league, but they're a few pieces away. As a rebuilding team, they've done pretty well, and I think that they're not in a situation where they're literally tanking for just because they have nothing. They have something there, so they're on their way. They're a few pieces away. They're literally what this tier says. Don't question me. Don't question me. The Pacers. Now look, Wembanyama for sure. Wembanyama. Now look, I like Tyrese Halliburton, and look, Ben Mathurin. I hope he gets a lot of minutes because I like how he played in the preseason. He looks really, really nice. And hopefully, Indiana can get off the books of Buddy Hield and Miles Turner and get back some assets. But when you look at all the other rebuilding teams, they're not as talented as the other teams. They're not far behind, but I think the other teams are clearly above them. But this team clearly is in the Wembanyama sweepstakes. Nothing to talk about. The next team, the Milwaukee Bucks. Y'all are going to be surprised. But I'm putting the Bucks in missing something. And it's only because when I look at this roster, and preseason may have changed my judgment just a little bit, but when I look at this team, we know Giannis is going to be Giannis. We know Middleton's going to be a great secondary option. But besides those two players, and especially when I look at the bench, it's not appealing at all. Again, as the season goes along, how Milwaukee fares, but I'm not too intrigued with how their bench is looking right now. I think Giannis is going to be great. Middleton is going to be great. Holiday is going to be a great piece as well. But besides those 3 players, of course, you have to carry the load as a superstar, an elite superstar. But the bench unit for the Bucks has to provide something to move me as the season goes along, because I'm not really impressed with them right now. The Raptors. The Raptors are a sleeper team. And the only reason why I put the Raptors as a sleeper team, they're a consistently good team, and they're always a hard team to go up against, especially with how their team is ran. They have a lot of long-bodied wings. They switchable defense. They're going to be a hard team to go up against all the time. They're just a team that's annoying to play against. They're an annoying team to play against, and I think that they're a sleeper team for sure. How it fares in the playoffs, I think they'll have to make some more additions, hopefully. Maybe the emergence of more players, like I said, Scotty Barnes, but this team is not a team that's a question mark. We know what the Raptors can do, and they should perform well this season compared to the other teams in the C tier. The Mavericks. I can't put them as a contending team yet because I personally feel as if, like, for the Mavericks to be a contending team, Luka Doncic needs another player as a secondary option, and they don't have that. I think the second best offensive option they have is Christian Wood, who's coming off the bench, and he's a great addition for them. They're going to be a competitive team just by Luka and the fact that they play great defense on that team, but they're still going to perform well. Luka's going to have a great season. He might win MVP. He has a possibility to do so, and I think the Mavericks are going to be have a good season and make the playoffs as well. The Nuggets are the second team to enter the contending tier. Nikola Jokic now has his two best offensive options, Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray. I just think that with Jokic, what he has now, they're going to be a lot much better offensively. The load is going to be reduced on Jokic, and I think right now is just making sure that this defense is stout. But the Nuggets are a team that in the Western Conference that you can't sleep on. They're gonna be very, very good, and I think they're one of the best teams in the West. The Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis is gonna be a sleeper team. Losing Jaren Jackson for the first 2 months of the season is kind of a big thing. That's one of the best defensive anchors. I think Dylan Brooks, and Desmond Bane can offensively get it done, and I think that even though they're missing a lot of guys, they may not have the better season like they did last year, but they're still gonna be a tough outing, just like the Raptors I talked about. They're a team that you have to look out for. So they're a sleeper team. Hopefully when they get healthy, they'll probably move up, but right now I got them in the B tier. Minnesota Timberwolves. This is tough. I really wanted to put them in the C tier, but I'm going to move them to the B tier just because I am hopeful of what their defense can do with the two big lineup. I'll put them as a sleeper team. I'm not too happy about that right here, but y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think about the Timberwolves. That's probably like one of the bigger question marks, really. Man, I guess, bro. I guess. San Antonio. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Utah. Do I really gotta do I really have to do this? Like, yeah, let's move on. The Clippers. Look, Clippers are missing something. I've said it before in previous videos. I think the three best teams, actually I'm not gonna say because obviously it will ruin the video, but I think the Clippers are missing something. Again, the entire team is coming back. PG, Kawhi, you're adding John Wall. I think on paper it's gonna be great. I think it's gonna be a great additions, but you still have to see them on a fold in the season. And I think that one big issue with the Clippers is they have a lot of wing depth as well, but they do lack some size, especially in the paint. It's not a bad place to be at right now, but we'll see as the season pairs. Phoenix Suns. Phoenix missing something, and I was really gonna put them as a sleeper team, as a B tier team, but I think the Suns at the end of the day, they still have the majority of their core from the championship. Well, not champion, y'all lost in the championship, I'm tripping. CP3, D-Book, and Ayton, Mikal Bridges, and the emergence of Cam Johnson is enough to put you over an edge amongst a lot of teams in the Western Conference. But they belong in the 8th tier. They're still a talented team, even though y'all did lose to an Australian team. I should put y'all down here low-key for that. I guess, bro. I'll move. Portland, back where you belong. I think last year I had you in the D tier, but y'all are in the C tier, so congrats. Y'all moved up one spot. I wanted y'all to let Dame go, just like Rose did Jack in the Titanic, but y'all don't want to do that. But I think this roster, it's improved from last year. I think it's going to perform very, very well in the Western Conference, but it's just not a top contending team to me or a confirmed team that can make the playoffs. I think you guys will be in the hunt for the play-in, but Dame's gonna have a good season, another all-star season. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure what you guys have right now. I would bring you down a few pieces away, but with a player like Dame, you guys are clearly a question mark team. Sacramento Kings. I might be the only person that's in on the Kings this year. I think the Kings can definitely shock some people. And I think the main thing about the Kings is I think that the entire roster has been improved. The only thing about the Kings that makes it hard for them is the fact that they're playing in one of the tougher divisions in the NBA. They got to face the Lakers with AD and LeBron, the Warriors, the Suns, and then the Clippers. So it's going to be kind of tough for the Kings, but I think that this team isn't as bad as many people think they are. And they should perform fairly well against other teams in the NBA and hopefully be in a playing conversation. The New York Knicks. Another team that I have as a question mark. I know I make a lot of jokes about the Knicks. I think Jalen Brunson, RJ Barrett, and I think the entire team in the core that they have isn't a bad core in the Eastern Conference. Do I think it's one of the deeper teams in the Eastern Conference? No, not really. On a talent standpoint, no. But I think the Knicks don't have a trash roster like many people think they do. They'll be okay. There might be some slumps here and there, but they're a question mark team. Like I said before, this is a team that can overachieve and underachieve, and I think the Knicks are the pure definition of that. So yeah, the Knicks, I'll see how the Knicks do this season. The Pelicans. The Pelicans are a sleeper team. I think the Pelicans from last year, we saw how they performed without Zion. Zion is back, and I think how these guys performed in the playoffs against the #1 seeded Phoenix Suns. These guys have a lot of confidence, from Herb Jones to Jose Alvarado to Brandon Ingram, and now you have CJ McCollum, who's going to be the leader on this team. Zion Williamson is going to be the main catalyst to see if you guys can be put over the edge. They're a team that you gotta be worried about. So we'll see how they do this season. The Charlotte Hornets. Look, Hornets are not a good team. I'm out on the Hornets. I know people will say like they have a talent at least to be above a lot of teams in the Wembanyama sweepstakes. I'm not a fan of the team. I think that right now, for what they have, LaMelo Ball is the only bright spot on that team. And I think that they should be trying to move a lot of guys to get in place to get Wembanyama. Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward, like, no, bro. A lot of the young players on the team, we don't even know if they're good or not because they don't even get that many minutes. So I don't know. Hornets, y'all have a lot of question marks. Y'all are not a few pieces away. So is anyone arguing that shit? No, sir. Houston Rockets. Now, I'm a Houston Rockets fan. I think we're a few pieces away from being a true playoff team. I think the Rockets have a lot of talent, and they should be in the next few seasons a few pieces away just by what the core that they have. And I think the main thing is just the emergence of Jalen Green. If Jalen Green has a year or two leap, the Rockets are in a prime position because a lot of people love to shit on the Rockets, but if you pay attention to what's going on in Houston, they've been making some moves. Guys have been buying in, and hopefully guys improve as well. But I think they're a few pieces away from being a true playoff team. The Miami Heat. They're a contending team. And I did this last year. I did it a lot last year. I didn't think Miami was really a true contending team, but it really comes down to this. I think, again, Miami is one of those few teams that in the regular season, they're annoying to play against, and they're going to play hard, and you're going to have to worry about them. People don't like them. I understand it. They're not appealing because they don't have a true number one bucket getter, but this team is literally grit and grind team in Miami. They play defense. They shoot the three ball great. They have a lot of shooters. They're one of the best three-point shooting teams. In 2022, they do what's needed to be done to win games, and Miami Heat do that pretty well. The only question mark you can really have on them is if they have a number one option. We've seen before that Jimmy Butler can step up his game when needed most, so it is what it is. Chicago Bulls, question marks, a lot of question marks. I think one, because of the fact Lonzo Ball is clearly going to be missing some time due to a knee injury, and it sucks that that's happening. And again, with the team right now, Vucevic hasn't turned out to be the player that was supposed to be that guy when you traded for him. I'm not too intrigued with what it looks like right now, besides DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine, but the Bulls have a lot of question marks on that team right now. The Brooklyn Nets. Brooklyn, a lot of people are going to make jokes about them just because of the whole Ben Simmons situation and KD wanted to leave that team. I think they're an A-tier team. I don't think there's a lot of question marks because I think with Kyrie healthy, KD healthy, but those two together, alongside guys who can shoot the three ball, is enough to get you into a top 5 seed in the Eastern Conference. And I think they're going to be tough regardless. And again, I made Kevin Durant jokes before. Kevin Durant is still Kevin Durant. Kyrie Irving is still Kyrie Irving. And I think Ben Simmons is going to provide something on defense that they haven't had before. Of course, they're going to have to work on getting a true rim protector. And if they can get a true rim protector in Brooklyn, hey, that's very scary, alongside with Ben Simmons on the perimeter. So I think right now that's the one thing that they're lacking. I like the offensive additions. They're going to have a great offensive rating off the rip, but defensively is a main question mark if they're locked in that situation. But that's the only thing you bring up on the Brooklyn Nets. Besides that, the Thunder. Hey man, the Thunder are also a few pieces away. I like what the Thunder have over there in OKC. And even with Chet Holmgren going to miss the entire season, which is unfortunate, you got to look at it this way. Shai SGA is one of the better young point guards in the league, or shooting guards, whatever you want to call them. I think Giddey's made a big strides in his offensive game. And you look at the other young offensive pieces in Jalen Williams, Trey Mann. I like what is happening in OKC, and I think they are a few pieces away. They're better than the teams in the Wembanyama sweepstakes, but they will probably perform poorly amongst the entire league. But I like what's happening in OKC. We'll see how they fare in this season. Next up, we have the Devil. We have Golden State. Golden State, I don't understand it. Y'all, the Devil works hard, but Bob Myers and Joe Lacob work harder. I don't get how y'all signed back Poole and Wiggins. Y'all are different. The Warriors are contenders teams. Like, it's nothing to talk about. Like, this team is clearly one of the best. They're the favorites to win it all again. The Warriors are just an well-oiled machine. They just keep going and going. Like, it's nasty. Draymond, hopefully you get paid. Hopefully you get paid, bro. We can talk about it on your podcast too. Boston's a contending team. I know the whole coaching situation with Ime Udoka has been a big dark cloud on the Boston Celtics franchise, but I think from a talent standpoint, this team is still one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference. The only thing you could say about them is maybe having like a hangover of losing in the finals, but I think that this team has made so many long playoff runs over the past 5 years since Tatum has been on the team that they have been through battles in the playoffs that they can overcome that, and I think they'll perform fairly well again this season and be one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference. The second to last team, the Lakers. The Lakers are a question mark team. Y'all remember my very first ranking series video about the Lakers. I literally said it all comes down to Anthony Davis and if he can perform like an MVP and DPOY candidate. Again, it comes down to this. But what makes it even worse is the fact that I don't like the Lakers roster. I think that Russell Westbrook should be traded just because Westbrook just doesn't fit this roster. They have too many guards and no wings. I'm not gonna lie. I don't have high hopes for the Lakers. Last year I had some hopeful. I'm not high on the Lakers right now unless AD and LeBron turn into Batman and Superman. I ain't gonna lie. I don't see it, bro. I don't see it. Hopefully it does. Hopefully, man. The Orlando Magic. Again, a few pieces away. When you look at the Magic, I love the front court in Orlando. Paolo, Franz, I told y'all about Franz. He's only Franz. Franz and Wendell Carter Jr. That's a really young front court that you can build around. Man, if you guys get an explosive guard, like somebody kind of crazy, Orlando might be popping in the next few years, bro. But that concludes my official NBA ranking tiers in October before the season begins. Tell me what you guys think. I already know there's a lot of question marks. People are about to call me so many crazy names. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all be really bold in them comment sections and the DMs. I ain't gonna lie to you. If you enjoyed the video, definitely leave a like. Subscribe if you're new and turn that post notification bell on so you do not miss a video. Until next time, guys, stay on beat.